Why do we keep walking the same roads, even when they lead to suffering? Why do we fall into the same kinds of relationships, make the same mistakes, react in the same ways, even when we know better? Is it just habit? Is it fate? Or is there something deeper happening beneath the surface of our awareness? Welcome, traveler of the inner realms, to a journey into the hidden architecture of your choices. Today, we explore why we keep repeating the same patterns through the lenses of karma, energetic imprinting, and psychological conditioning. This is not just about behavior. It is about memory, soul memory, body memory, the unseen grooves that shape our lives like invisible rivers. Let us begin. In many spiritual traditions, there is a belief that every action creates an imprint, not just in the world, but in the energetic body. In Sanskrit, the word karma means action, but also the seed of memory that action plants. Karma is not punishment. It is repetition, the echo of choices that were never fully seen. Imagine throwing a stone into still water. The ripples move outward, but they also leave a vibration within the water's body. Now imagine every thought, word, and deed as a stone. The ripples are your experience. The vibration is your karma. According to yogic philosophy, karma is stored not just in the mind, but in the very cells of the body, in the breath, in the nervous system, in the subtle energetic channels that flow through you. This is why certain fears arise without reason, why certain people trigger you without cause. It is old energy, still alive inside you. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And so karma is not destiny. It is unconscious memory acting itself out until it is seen, felt, and released. Let's explore an example. A child who grew up in a home where love was conditional, where affection had to be earned, may internalize a belief: I must prove my worth to be loved. This becomes a psychological imprint. But more than that, it becomes an energetic pattern, a field that radiates out and attracts situations that confirm it. The child grows into an adult who unconsciously chooses partners, jobs, and friends that recreate this emotional climate, not because they want to suffer, but because the nervous system is wired to seek the familiar. The unknown, even if it's healthy, feels unsafe. And so the pattern repeats. This is where science meets spirit. Modern psychology calls it attachment theory, trauma looping, or emotional repetition compulsion. Ancient traditions simply call it karma. The yogis teach that there are three types of karma. 1. Sankita karma, the accumulated karma from past lifetimes. 2. Prarabdha karma, the portion of that karma playing out in this life. 3. Kriyamana karma, the karma we are creating now, moment by moment. Most of us live inside prarabdha, the script that has already begun. But we are not trapped, because through awareness, we can create new karma, kriyamana, and begin to rewrite the story. But rewriting requires recognition. You cannot change what you don't see. That's where the practice begins. In the yogic texts, the mind is described as a field of tendencies or samskaras. These are grooves, like lines etched into stone, carved by repetition. When a pattern is repeated enough, it becomes automatic. This is not just metaphor, it is neurological truth. Repetition forms circuits in the brain. Emotion charges them. Energy flows through them like electricity on a fixed path. But what if you could step out of the circuit? What if the pattern isn't who you are, but just what's been practiced? Let's return to energy. Every time you react unconsciously, be it through anger, fear, guilt, or shame, you reinforce a field. You feed it. The more you feed a pattern, the stronger its vibration becomes. This is why some people feel like they're stuck, not just emotionally, but energetically. These are known as energetic imprints. They live in the aura. They shape your posture, your tone of voice, your facial expressions. They become part of your vibrational signature. And because like attracts like, they draw in experiences that match your frequency. This is not punishment. It is opportunity. Every repetition is a mirror, a chance to see the pattern more clearly. This is why certain people keep coming back into your life. Why you meet the same soul in different faces. Why you keep reaching the same emotional wall. The pattern is trying to complete itself, to be felt, accepted, and released. But how do we do that? The first step is awareness. When you notice the pattern, not with judgment, but with curiosity, you interrupt the trance. You create space. That space is where freedom begins. The second step is embodiment. Patterns are not just mental, they are somatic, stored in muscles, breath, and gut reactions. This is why talking about trauma is not enough. The body must be included. Breath work, movement, sound, and energy healing allow old imprints to rise to the surface and dissolve. The third step is reprogramming, not in the mechanical sense, but in the spiritual sense of remembering who you are beneath the pattern. This means feeding new thoughts, feelings, and actions that align with truth, not the old story. When you choose compassion instead of reactivity, you create new karma. When you act with integrity, even when it's hard, you plant new seeds. When you forgive what was, without needing it to be different, you release yourself. This is the deeper work, the soul's work. And yet, none of this is linear. Patterns don't vanish overnight. They spiral. They test. They return, softer each time, asking, will you choose differently now? And if you fall back into them, that too is part of the journey. Because awareness grows through contrast. Each return brings clarity, and clarity brings freedom. There's another layer to this, ancestral karma. Modern epigenetics shows that trauma can be passed down through DNA. Stress, famine, fear, they leave molecular marks that affect future generations. But this was known long before genetics. In African traditions, in indigenous wisdom, in Eastern cosmology, it is taught that we carry the imprints of our bloodline, that the same patterns we repeat may not be ours alone, that we are not just healing for ourselves, but for those who came before. When you break a cycle of abuse, you liberate not only yourself, but your lineage. When you stop abandoning yourself, you end centuries of survival code. This is sacred work. This is why you incarnated. Not to be perfect, but to remember, to awaken, to transmute what once was unconscious. And perhaps, this is why the same lessons come in different forms. Life is patient. It repeats what we don't learn, not to punish us, but to give us another chance. And so if you are walking through a pattern, again, do not despair. It means the lesson is near, that something deep within you is ready to transform. You are not broken. You are remembering. You are not lost. You are returning to the truth beneath the pattern, to the presence that watches it arise, to the stillness that has never been touched by it. And that presence is who you really are. So the next time you find yourself saying, why does this always happen to me? Pause, breathe, ask, what is this pattern asking me to see, to feel, to choose differently this time? Because awareness is the first liberation, and love is the final one. Thank you for walking this spiral path. Thank you for showing up to the work, even when it feels heavy. And remember, even repetition is progress when seen with new eyes. Until next time, soul traveler, may your patterns become your teachers, your awareness become your compass, and your choices, the doorway to your liberation.